Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news. We're gonna talk about Resident Evil 4, Kayak VR Mirage, Peaky Blinders and some other interesting bits and bobs. So, let's get started and we're gonna begin from, maybe let's start from Kayak. I'm just gonna bring you the window up from it. So the developer shared a few things on Twitter. So this is their post from yesterday, what they did. I meant to do this video earlier, but we've had this news story about Bloomberg, which is totally not true, so I've done a video about it. Go and check them out if you want. But anyway, they posted this yesterday, taking a little field tip to make sure we nail in those PSVR2 haptics, because they of course want you feel as good as possible. But anyway, also what they said is that this week, more information on pricing and pre-orders later this week. So the game be available to pre-order. The price, I think, I don't know, it went for sale for a moment at some point for 22 quid, but I don't, or something like that, but I don't know what the price gonna be. But that's interesting, so yeah, looking forward to seeing it. So stay tuned to the channel, and as soon as I know it, I will of course let you know. Now moving on to the next story, what I want to talk about is Peaky Blinders. So I'm gonna pause it here. So they said today, the team at Peaky Blinders VR have just dropped their new trailer to get you ready for your immersive mission. Dust off your flat cap and play Peaky Blinders: The King's Ransom, launching 9th of March 2023. And then shout out to Starek, if I'm saying it right, who asked PSVR release 2, and then this dude, who is the CEO of Emergent Games and Maze Theory, you know, the company who made Peaky Blinders VR, replied, said, will be coming soon. Of course, that's coming from him. Still gonna wait for official announcements, but that's nice to know. I was expecting it to come because Maze Theory did Doctor Who VR game, and of course that come to all the platforms. So maybe let's play the Peaky Blinders trailer, so you can see what this game is all about. Let me just find it for you. That's the one.
Peggy 18.
I disappeared for a moment. So this is, I'm assuming, gameplay from Quest. Will it look that good on Quest, or is it PC?
But I'm not Arthur. How do I know you're anything but a traitor? Churchill's place was robbed last night. Got away with the king's ransom. Jewellery, fine china, family heirlooms. But Churchill's far more worried about this. It's Churchill's dispatch box, stuffed with government secrets. And God forbid it falls into the wrong hands.
Sounds like an interesting story.
You should have stayed
Very
in Birmingham.
interesting. Birmingham?
One of our boys should be up there.
Birmingham? Is that the accent?
Check the whole shop.
Come on then, let's have your all here. Come on.
Oh, interesting. A lot of shooting.
Give me the order, Tom.
Speak soon, Peaky Blinder.
Oh, so that's for Pico and Quest trailer. Keep in mind, you know, on PSVR might look better, but that's your Peaky Blinders. In other news, moving on to the next story, Game Informer today announced that they will be doing a Resident Evil 4 exclusive coverage throughout this month. So that's their cover reveal for the Resident Evil 4. They went hands-on with the remade classic and have plenty to share. And also the Resident Evil 4 digital issue is out now. Of course, Game Informer is a gaming publication owned by the GameStop. So you want to know what they said? You don't need to look far. IGN got you covered. So basically, what they're saying is Resident Evil 4 Remake is removing QuickTime events and adding side quest and some new enemies as well. So listen, let's have a quick read. Capcom has shared new details on the upcoming remake of Resident Evil 4. This includes confirmation that it will remove quick time events at side quests and introduce breakable knives. Capcom provided a better idea of what fans can expect from the highly anticipated remake in a new cover story of Game Informer. So that's the story, that's what I showed you, that's what the IGN talking about. The most significant change from the remake is that there will be no quick time events. Game Informer's story mentioned that side quests are also being added to the remake, stating that blue flyers located in the game are used to collect the side quest for you to complete, with examples including solving puzzles, tracking down enemies, eliminating a specific enemy. The blue medallion collectible that was featured in the original will also be returning in a remake. One of more interesting gameplay changes is that knife will have limited durability, will break after a certain amount of use. Remember your knives from Walking Dead Saints and Sinners and how they used to break? Get ready for that here. However, you can store multiple knives in your inventory. Additionally, you will have the option to trade jewels with the merchant in exchange for items such as yellow herbs, treasure maps, and weapon attachments. Resident Evil 4 Remake also changes Ashley Graham, who no longer has a health bar, but if she takes too much damage, she will be in a downed state and need to be revived. If she is hit when in a downed state, she will die. A Capcom representative said that the developers want to make Ashley feel more like a natural companion and less like a second health bar to babysit, confirming that she can perform things such as sending her through a crawl space to open a door that's locked from the other side, a mechanic that is featured in many games anyway. First announced in 2002, Resident Evil 4 is the latest Capcom series of remakes. We played it back in October, noting that Capcom seemed to be making smart choices within it iterates on for the remake, and that we're excited to see more. Resident Evil 4 launches on March 24th on PS4, PS5, PC, Xboxes. Now, as you can see, no mention on PlayStation VR2 still, but it is happening. They announced it. My assumption is, because of course Resident Evil Village gonna come out on 22nd of February and this game coming out of March, maybe it's too close together to have two big VR games like that, or maybe because the content will be limited, as they said, it's just content, PSVR2 content in the development, maybe they just not showing off too much. Anyway, sticking to Capcom, we are on the game's developer website, and Capcom hopes, this is their story, Capcom hopes to sell 40 million units of its game by the end of fiscal year. I found it interesting because they quite good with sales. What they saying is, numbers showed how the international market drove most of the Capcom first quarter sales. 78, nearly 80% of their games, of the 92.1 million units sold from, were overseas, which means everywhere but Japan. For its 40 million expectation, it predicts nearly 82% of sales will be from the same global audience. Resident Evil 4 Remake releases a week prior to the fiscal year's end of March 24th, which should help Capcom reach its milestone. The original 2005 game has a lofty pedigree attached to it, and it's been released enough time that a full-blown remake would naturally catch players' attention. It also helped that the franchise track record has been rock solid as of late. 2019's remakes of Resident Evil 2 shipped 3 million with a few days, and 2020 Resident Evil 3 did 2 million in the same time frame. Resident Evil Village, the most current game in the series, has sold 6.1 million as of 2022. What's interesting as well is the digital sales. Let me see if I can find it. I can't. But, oh yeah. So it also noted the contribution of digital sales for entries in the major franchises such as Monster Hunter Rise and Resident Evil Village. And this is pretty cool. 91% of sales in the quarter were done digitally, 91% of the games. So only 9% of all the players in that quarter bought the game on disc. And by April, Capcom expects those digital downloads to be 90% of its sales. So it just shows how the physical medium kind of been outdated, not outdated, but goes away. PC players, of course, done with it ages ago. Myself, I got digital PS5, and you know what, it's alright, there's not much clutter now, so yeah, quite okay. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 definitely will help, but with their sales, but also of course stay tuned to the channel. As soon as I got any PSVR 2 info, which might be dropping this month on the Game Informers channel, of course I will let you know right away. And big shout out to all the patrons, you are all awesome, and that's it, bye.